Since the pandemic, grocery prices have gone up, and they haven't come back down. During our campaign, we promised New Yorkers that we would create a network of city-owned grocery stores, one in each borough.
This was a campaign of a smiling socialist con man from the very beginning.
So what happens when the government decides that it wants to run a grocery store? Not regulate a grocery store, not support one. They want to run one. And not in a place in the middle of nowhere where having a store might be convenient, but in a place where dozens of grocery stores already exists. Well, for starters, the starting cost is ridiculous. So ridiculous that it almost sounds like money laundering. Like, what is the money really being needed for? Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to Nelly Miranda. As always, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Okay, so New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani stood on stage celebrating his first 100 days in office. Big crowd, big energy. And then he announced that the city is launching government-owned grocery stores, which he campaigned on, but here's the catch. The first of the 5 stores will not be ready until 2029.
Since the pandemic, grocery prices have gone up, and they haven't come back down. During our campaign, we promised New Yorkers that we would create a network of city-owned grocery stores, one in each borough. And we are here today to celebrate the site of the Manhattan store, La Marqueta, which will be open by 2029.
So aside from it not being ready until 2029, the price tag is a whopping $30 million, paid by tax dollars, of course. And yes, the prices will basically be the same as every other store. But the catch is they'll have basket goods. Think milk, eggs, bread for cheaper.
Joe, took less than a year to build, and guess what? Cost a lot less than $30 million. So what the heck is Mamdani celebrating here?
Well, that's a very good question, Todd. And this was a campaign of a smiling socialist con man from the very beginning. And 51% of New York voters who should have known better, they fell for it. These city-run stores are already projected to cost twice as much as Zohran Mamdani first promised. And we know the way things work in New York and in this area in general. If they're projected at X now, by the time they're done, it'll probably be double and triple that. And now he's saying that the first of 5 stores won't open until 2029. I mean, shut the front door here. I mean, by the way, how will opening 5 city-run grocery stores, where some of the prices will be no different than non-city run stores, Mamdani is admitting that now, how will that make it more affordable for 8 million people where there are already more than 1,000 food stores to choose from? So between this and the free buses that may never come and the free childcare that's definitely never going to come because the billions just ain't there, Zohran Mamdani's social media prowess and making the city more unlivable and certainly not more affordable, that may well be his legacy.
When it comes to the products that we will be selling at these city-run grocery stores, there will be an essential basket of goods that will be guaranteed at a cheaper price.
Shot of Zohran Mamdani's
Really got
face
in his face there.
But you know, I was thinking about this. This could possibly work because apparently there's going to be, like he said, this basket of goods like milk, eggs, bread that are going to be sold at a cheaper price. But then it sounds like everything else is just going to be standard.
The total budget was originally $60 million, then it went to $70 million for 5 stores. It sounds doable. But then we find out that the first store alone is projected to cost $30 million. So now what? Are the builders building at a discounted price for the other 4 stores? Because the remaining budget is only $40 million, which means $10 million per store. And if he sticks to his budget, I'm assuming that some workers won't be getting paid. But guess what's not included in the $70 million? Operating costs, employee salaries, inventory, utilities, security, maintenance, etc. So the $70 million is really just the beginning. So let me tell you about Chapter, because it could be the beginning to you saving some money if you are 65 and up and are on Medicare. Chapter is a free service that helps you compare all your Medicare options, and not just one company and one plan. We're talking about everything that is available to you. They compare all plans and costs from different companies so that you can actually find the plan that fits your needs and your budget. So for only 20 minutes of your day, you can find out how much you could be saving and what you could be gaining from using their services. There is no pressure to sign up, and you owe it to yourself to find out. So for complete Medicare guidance, you can dial 646-817 646-8160 to speak with my trusted partner, Chapter. Again, that is 646-817-8160, or go to askchapter.org/Nelly. Now let's jump back in, because it is important to note that if the benefits of the government-owned grocery stores is to provide cheaper things like milk, bread, and eggs, should the government just buy those items in bulk and give them to food pantries and let those in need have it for free? Because it sounds to me like a much cheaper option. Much, much cheaper alternative than the $70 million proposed. I do not see the importance of city-run grocery stores in New York, because it has been reported that there are multiple grocery stores within a 2-block radius and around 15 stores within 5 blocks. So the bigger question is, why is the government trying to compete with independent grocers? And to top it off, Mamdani is saying that these stores will not pay rent or property taxes and is backed by taxpayer dollars. So rightfully, bodega owners and small grocers have every right to be upset, because if they were granted such benefits, maybe they too could lower the cost of goods. In the end, I think this cheaper government-owned grocery store idea will hurt the community that it claims to help, and probably eventually will shut down. But I digress. Mayor Mamdani was pressed on CBS News about his first 100 days in office and the countless promises that he made. And this is what he had to say. Take a listen.
Yeah, that's all the good stuff, Mayor, but people will talk about the promises that you made during your campaign. 3 of your signature issues: universal free childcare, freezing city rents, making city buses free. Promises haven't been materialized yet because the rent isn't frozen, the buses aren't free, no universal childcare. And so New Yorkers are saying, you know, it's been 100 days. Why haven't you done it? What do you say to that?
Well,
because your campaign promises were big for a lot of people.
As they should be, because New Yorkers are facing a big crisis of
Yeah.
affordability. So I'll go through one by one. We said that we would deliver universal child care. On day 8, we announced that agreement with Governor Hochul. For the first time in New York City now, we are delivering universal child care for 2-year-olds. 2,000 this year, 12,000 next year, every single 2-year-old by the end of year 4. We said we believe that the rent should be frozen for New Yorkers who live in rent-stabilized housing. There are 6 vacancies on the board that determines that. We filled those vacancies. They're going to make their decision. They're an independent board. They'll make that decision this summer. And then we said that we would speed up the slowest buses in America and make them free as well. And we're proud to say that we're already speeding up buses for more than 1 million New Yorkers, putting 6 minutes back in their pockets, which, as you know, in New York City, time is money. And we're working with Albany to make them free. And so what I would say when we look at these 3 main campaign promises is we're seeing the kind of progress we were told was impossible, and we're doing all of it while also accomplishing the same thing that we said we would do before even affordability, which is public safety. And that is a key part of our agenda.
All righty then, so full steam ahead, I guess. His wish list has to be paid somehow, and he and Kathy Hochul may have found a way to do so. And that is to raise taxes on the wealthy who own a second home in New York. Homes that are worth over $5 million. Watch.
The governor wants to tax those second homes that are worth $5 million or more. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is live at City Hall. Tell us more about this. Phil, good morning.
Yeah, Shirley, good morning. And the governor continues to face mounting pressure. That's as negotiations continue up in Albany between herself as well as the legislator. Here in the city, we have a problem, which is a budget deficit. And the big question this morning is how exactly do you solve it? Well, the governor is planning to back a tax proposal on the richest residents here in the city to help narrow in on that budget gap. Now, the tax would target second homes in the city priced at more than $5 million. The exact details of the tax haven't been revealed yet, but the governor hopes it'll help raise $500 million annually for the city. The new surcharge could also include increases for homes valued at $15 million, and then again for those at $25 million.
When I ran for mayor, I said I was going to tax the rich. Well, today, we're taxing the rich. I'm thrilled to announce we've secured a pied-à-terre tax, the first in New York's history. This is an annual fee on luxury properties worth more than $5 million, whose owners do not live full-time in the city. Like for this penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. They're able to reap the huge financial rewards of owning property in, dare I say, the greatest city in the world.
Kathy Hochul says, quote, New York City is the greatest city in the world, and the people who call it home should not be left carrying the burden alone. If you can afford a $5 million second home that sits empty most of the year, you can afford to contribute like every other New Yorker. The bottom line is that wealthy New Yorkers will continue to flee New York so as long as being wealthy is deemed a crime. Who will pay the bulk of the taxes then? The middle class and working class, of course. So my questions for you are, do you think that government-run grocery stores could actually lower prices, or do you think that this ends up hurting small businesses in the long run? And also, at what point does the tax the rich turn into tax everyone else indirectly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you got any value from today's video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.